Hello and welcome to a brand new show here on SNY's social platforms, Jets Mailbag. I'm your host, Jeane Coakley, and I am joined by my co-host for every single episode of Jets Mailbag, the one, the only, Connor Hughes. Connor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Jeane. I'm excited to get this NFL season going. It was a long off season. It was an eventful one. A little bit less drama, I think, than we're used to
I was going to
seeing
say,
around
was
these
it
parts
was
with the
it
Jets,
eventful
right?
though? Was it
It
eventful
was
compared to what
well
we're
when you
used
talk
to?
about new coach, new quarterback, new
Okay,
GM,
okay.
the draft picks coming in, free agent signings, all the stuff that you have with a normal off season. It always like I was actually talking to my wife Brie about this the other day, Jeane. It's like I get really excited for free agency. I get excited for the draft because it's fun. Like there's just things to
Yeah.
write about again, things to talk about it again, like a breath of fresh air. Training camp, I love the first 2 weeks because you're finally seeing the pads, the heat, the smells. It's like you're just back again. From like that second and a half week on, though, it's just get to the regular season. Like you're over. If there's no rookie
Yeah.
quarterback, like the Jets didn't have one, you don't care about the preseason. It's just get to the games that count, and we are finally here. It's game week, and it's a big one with Aaron Rodgers. I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
Well, this is my 16th training camp with the Jets. So after a week, I was like, okay, let's get to week one. I'm ready to go. So you're only 2 weeks and
Yes.
I 1 week in the training camp.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this show. So Jets Mailbag is a show for the fans by the fans.
Yes.
We will be your guys. We will be with you guys each week throughout the Jets 2025 NFL season to answer your questions, the fans' questions, which I'm kind of excited about, Connor, because fans are always coming up to us and asking us, hey, 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 well, guess what? Now we can you can ask the question and it's going to be on TV. Well, YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
There you
same
go.
thing.
Yeah. It's a blast.
All
And
right.
I think fans are usually asking questions, or there was the fan in Arizona last year that as you and I were walking back to the press box, Jeane, he yelled out, hey, Connor Hughes. And I was like, okay. And again, I say this, like, it's always great when fans, like Jet fans, reach out and they say hi and they say hello. Cause it's like, to me, it's like the most surreal thing in the world. Like somebody I don't know knows who I am. This guy was the first one I've gotten of this one. I look up at him and I get ready for like oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Like, I appreciate it. And he just turns around and he goes, you suck. And I'm like, that
Feel
was
free to
mean.
send those in too. I'll read them.
Yeah, I was like, that's a little vicious. And then the guy goes, no, you really suck. And I was like, all right, this guy knows his thing. All right, he's committed to it. Like, it's one thing if you just say it, but when you're gonna double down on it, that was vicious. It was fun though. It's all fun. So if you guys want to send those questions too, I'm all game. I finally like broken that as well, where I've gotten the people that are very complimentary, and then I've gotten my first like true Twitter world hater that carried it out into the real world.
So if you guys want to write Connor, this is what you have to do. Every week you can go on Twitter X and look for a post from Connor's account at Connor J. Hughes. I'm sure everybody knows it. SNY's accounts at SNY TV, at SNY Jets, or my account at Jeane Coakley, asking to submit your questions to the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can also write your questions in the comment section below. We'll take those questions and bring them right to myself and Connor so you can hear firsthand what's going on in the New York Jets organization. So without further ado, let's get to your questions. All right, Connor, let's get to our first question, and it comes from Alex B at Nick Central on Twitter/X. You know Alex B?
I do, yeah. He's been a long time follower, so I'm familiar with him. He's a great follower.
Okay,
He's up
great
there. He's
question
like the
too.
Drews are there, like Dom's up there, like there's Jude's up there. There's a handful of those guys. Marty's my guy. Funko Jets is another one. Like there's a handful of guys you see regularly popping up in the mentions, and Alex is one of them.
Okay, bring on those questions, guys. You heard them. All right, so here's Alex B's question. Who do you think will be second on the team in catches at the end of the season? Good question.
So that's a tough one, Jeane, because if he plays the whole season with the Jets, I think it's going to end up being Breece Hall because the major concern, and we've talked about this on Jets Final Drive, another one of our digital series here at SNY, and
Good
my
plug.
biggest concern right now with the Jets, I'm the plug god, remember that. I think my biggest concern right now with the Jets after they shored up the run defense is the quarterback. This is not based off of preseason games. This is based off of being at a vast majority of the Jets training camp practices this year. I don't trust Justin Fields based off of what I've seen over the summer. And that can change if maybe he's a gamer and he comes out in the regular season, he lights it up and he lights up the Steelers, then I'll feel more confident. But I just don't believe in him to successfully orchestrate an offense like you see from other teams. I think you're going to see a lot of Garrett Wilson plays designed from him. But I think more than anything else, it's going to be like, if Garrett's not there, we're going to check it down to Brees. If Garrett's not there, we're going to check it down to Brees Hall. And you'll see
Mhm.
Brees split wide. You'll see Brees in the slot. You're going to see Brees all over the place. Um, I think it's going to be a focal point getting him the ball, and it wouldn't surprise me to see Brees have 60-something catches this year, maybe even get close to 70 catches just on those little checkdowns and stuff like that. I mean, we saw Le'Veon get close to those numbers, things like that for the Jets. However, if this Jets season goes off the rails a little bit and they start losing a number of games and things start really struggling for them, I think there's a good chance that you could see Brees on the block at the deadline and then is traded. So if Brees only plays half the season with the Jets and then is dealt, or a little over half the season with the Jets and then dealt, yeah, probably not going to be number 2 on the team. I think you see Mason Taylor potentially in that role.
Oh, that was mine.
Yeah, potentially if he plays the whole year. I like Brees.
I was going to say Brees like you, but then I also like, you know what? I see Mason Taylor, especially later in the season, becoming that security blanket for Justin Fields. I like Mason Taylor. He's good. And like I said, that's my guy who's going to, by the end of the season. Can we play this back, you think? Like our last
100%.
show, play back?
If not,
don't you think?
Someone's going to clip it if I'm dead wrong and plug it. They never clip the ones you're right on. I know I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, you don't have a lot. You don't have a lot of those, Connor. So there's that.
Yeah, no, yeah. Someone clipped me last week. It was like some tweet I had saying like Zach Wilson has arrived, and it was that was not accurate. That was a bust.
Well, arrived where?
Not in the context I used it.
I was going to say, you technically didn't say where he arrived, so there was that. Anyways, all right, let's move on to Jason Oki. I didn't see any Fields to Wilson connections in the 2 preseason games. Do you think that will change during the season, or will the ball be spread around more?
No, we saw during training camp, Jeane, they're going to force feed the ball to Garrett. Like that, Garrett is going to be the focal point of this passing attack, and it's very different than years past. This isn't like when I would say, honest, it probably goes back to Mike LaFleur, but the first year with Nathaniel Hackett, the second year for Nathaniel Hackett, they had the Aaron Rodgers playbook, and they were going to run exactly what Aaron Rodgers wanted. So the routes that Garrett Wilson was running, it wasn't routes that were specified to his skill set or amplifying what he does so well. It was like, okay, this is what the X or Y receiver is supposed to do, and that's where Garrett's lining up. So Garrett's going to go and run what that is designed to do in Nathaniel Hackett's offense. What we've seen this year under Tanner Engstrand is that they are moving Garrett all over the place. They have him outside. They have him inside. He's in motion. They are asking him to do things that bring out the best in him. And I don't know if Garrett's going to have 1,600 yards this year, just because, again, I'm concerned with those limitations with Fields. But Fields is the same quarterback that got DJ Moore like 1,300 yards in Chicago with horrendous offensive play calling and all that other stuff. So I know some fans are probably concerned that Wilson, despite playing in the preseason, didn't get the hookups that they were looking for with Fields. But no, that's not an overly big concern of mine.
And again, we talk about that college connection. I mean, these two really know each other. They like each other. So I'm not concerned at all. All right, next question. Dave at DAECLJ on Twitter. I'm going to let you just deal with this one because this is a Giants-Jets crossover question.
Oh, okay.
I know you like that. Thoughts on the Zaire Barnes and Corey Black swap?
It's funny. Because I think that Jeane does have some pettiness to him. Like, I getting to know him over the years. Like, I think he holds grudges, and I'm sure that he wasn't. Again, it was like the thing where you keep the guy the extra day, you try to get him through waivers, you put him on your practice squad, and eventually elevate him. It was funny to see what the Giants did, or what the Jets did to the Giants. The Giants then come right back with Barnes. I mean, I think there was some. What's the right word to use? I think petty was
the right word.
Petty is a good one. I think there was some of that at play there between the two teams, and it's fine. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't think that they just exchanged Lawrence Taylor for Darrelle Revis. I don't think that's what just got swapped over. But I think it was kind of a little bit of like, you really two can play this game, and then go ahead and get Barnes. So yeah, I did get a good chuckle out of that, because when the Jets first claimed Black, I remember I have a group chat with Jets writers and I have another group chat with Giants writers, and I remember like the post coming in, like, man, look at that! Like Joe Jeane thought he could slide this one through, and the Jets picked him up, and then a couple hours later it gets announced the Giants are signing so and so off their practice squad. So I think there's there's something there. There's something there.
I do find it funny. Can you imagine if there's an LT and Darrell Revis swap? I mean, obviously they played in completely different times, but how crazy would that be? Who would get the better
It,
deal? Just out of curiosity.
LT is the greatest defensive player to ever live. So yeah, Darrell Revis is one of the
Oh,
best corners. LT is the greatest defensive player ever. Like that guy, I would love.
yeah.
Like I joke about this all the time, and I've talked to friends about this. I lived in a bad era because I didn't get to see LT in his prime. I didn't get to see Jordan in his prime. I didn't get to see
Mm.
Tiger in his prime. Like I would love to like have lived through that, like to legitimately see some of the best of the best of the best. And now we got to see Brady, which is really cool. We've gotten to see LeBron, but like it's just different with those guys. Like Lawrence Taylor is by almost every metric the best defensive player. You know what I mean? And then Tiger is Tiger, and Jordan is Jordan. It's like just to live that and see that, I would have loved. I would have loved it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Brandon at BKJYK1287. Odds the receiving core is exactly as it is right now come opening day against the Steelers. Ooh.
I think it's
I'm
pretty.
not good with
I
odds.
know people are on the Jacoby Myers like thing, and if
You know.
the Raiders actually entertain offers for Jacoby Myers, if the Raiders are legitimately interested and open to trading Jacoby Myers, I think that it makes sense for the Jets to pursue that, assuming the contract is reasonable. I mean, they just gave Garrett Wilson this huge deal. Are they now also going to flip around and give another big contract to Myers? I mean, he's not going to want as much as Wilson, but that's why he asked for a trade from the Raiders. The Raiders love Jacoby Myers. They realize his value to the team. He's a good player. He wants more money. He wants a new deal. That's the only reason that this is even out there into the world. Also, something to say about Jacoby Myers doing what he's been doing with anemic quarterback play, both in New England and then with the Raiders last year. Now he's got Geno Smith that they're just going to trade him. I mean, again, it doesn't seem like the Raiders are super open to that, and that they're probably eventually going to try to work something out to keep him in Vegas long term. Um, but aside from that one, now that Gabe Davis has returned to the Bills, Amari Cooper is back with the Raiders. Like I just don't see the household name. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Jets maybe tinker over the coming weeks and stuff like that. Maybe not before the Steelers game. It's pretty much this is the roster they're going to have with them. But I think your big name, notable guys, the next place you could maybe see it is the deadline. Like maybe, and even then, if the Jets are out of it, I think they'll be more sellers than they will be buyers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the odds are quite high that the receiving core is gonna stay pretty much the same.
Yeah, and they
Um,
don't look. I mean, it's an issue. Like wide receiver 2 is an issue, but I think you could put a really, really good number 2 receiver. And I don't want to keep ragging on the guy because I'm hoping Justin Fields proves me wrong and he's more of a gamer than a practice player. But I think that right now, Jeane, long term, big picture, I don't think that Justin Fields is the Jets' long term answer at quarterback. So if you and I have a same general viewpoint here where the Jets are going to win, even if the Jets aren't great this year, they're still probably going to win 6 or 7 games, maybe even 8 games. If they get to that 6 or 7 game win total, they realize that Justin Fields isn't their guy. They're not necessarily going to be in a position here where they can afford that third round pick that they need to trade for Myers or the fourth round pick they need to trade. They're going to need that to package to potentially go up there and get the kid out of South Carolina or get Drew Lars, a quarterback that they value and they fall in love with. They're going to have to move up from the teens or from the low, like 12, 13 to go up and get that quarterback. So I just don't think you add a number 2 receiver. Like you get a legitimate number 2 receiver and you plug him in here. I don't think that makes the Jets playoff contenders. I don't think it makes them Super Bowl contenders. I think they're kind of capped at around 7 wins, 8 wins this year as their total, unless Justin Fields blows everyone away and exceeds expectations. I think that's what you're probably stuck with here with the Jets. The tinkering they've done before, where they brought in Phillips and the guy from Cleveland, Briggs, the defensive tackle. I don't have the roster with me right now. Like with the guys that they brought in,
no,
like
yeah,
they were
yeah, sorry. I'm zoned
yeah,
out right
they
now.
brought in low level. Fine, yeah, they brought in low level picks for these guys where they can plug them in. You're not going to get Myers for a 7 or for a 6 or for a pick swap. That's not going
Mm.
to happen. I don't think. So I think you're probably stuck here with what you got. And I don't think there's anything you can do really. It's going to move the needle. So save your picks, potentially make a bigger run at a free agent receiver, or save those picks, like I said, to move up for somebody in the draft.
All right, I'm getting this next one first because I like this question. This is Rob at Rob Shannon 4289. Rate the jerseys out of 10. Those are sweet jerseys. I'm gonna
The
get
black
11 if
ones?
I can. Yes, I love those new jerseys.
Yeah, I one angle actually I saw it looked like it's the interior is a little green. Like I thought it was all black. I gotta
No,
go
it's
back
like
and
you're
look.
right. I feel it's like
got
like a
green
dirty
tinge to it, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
sweet. Like my favorite
Yeah.
is all black. I love the all black, but it's just like Gotham City. Just reminds you of like Batman, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, and I know somebody was saying like that they're Zach Rosenblatt, our co-host, was ragging on them because they have the manhole cover and the sewer cover, whatever is the inspiration. Yeah, I get saying that's probably want to suck that one back in and not say it again, but like the texture just looks cool. Like when you look at the texture on the sleeves there on
I think
Quincy,
it looks
like it
awesome.
looks cool. You know what I mean? So I'm a big fan of it. I would give him a 9 out of 10. I think
Um,
I really do like him, and I think I would give it a 10 out of 10 if when I see it in person, there is a green tinge to the middle and it's not just black. I forget where that somebody posted a screen grab and I could have sworn it had like green to it, but yeah,
I
I'm
think
a
they're
fan. I'm a
sweet
big fan. I'm
though.
not a jersey guy too. I'm not a jersey guy either. It's not like my thing,
You don't
but
wear
I
them to
like it.
you don't wear them to games.
I do
That's a
not.
lie.
I do not.
You
No.
wear some jerseys to games.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
real
Okay.
quick question then. If there's one person you could wear a jersey to a game, he's playing. Who's it gonna be?
He's playing.
Yeah, it can be an old time. You can play like you're going to a game and you're going to wear a jersey. Who you wearing it? Whose jersey
I'm
you
wearing
wearing?
Mike White's jerseys. He's my guy. I love Mike
Oh,
White. Mike White was the man. I love Mike White. I'm wearing a Mike White
I was
jersey.
going to let you go like Lawrence Taylor or like Michael Jordan at
Well,
this
that's
point, but
past. You
no,
said
you.
current. Oh, you want me
I
to go
said
current?
no. I did not
I
say
can go
current. I
past.
said any player, past. Or
Oh,
I'll
okay. I would
rephrase
go.
it.
I would
Any
say my
player,
favorite players
past or
growing up.
present. Go
When
ahead.
I was a kid, I they were like the great players on the teams that you like, but like I always liked the good players, like the ones that weren't the elite level Pro Bowlers. I was like a big
The Mike
Hakeem Nicks
White.
fan. Mike Weiss is a great guy. Mike's a great guy. He's a great
I
dude.
know
I still have to
he
meet
really
him.
is. He really is.
I think the Hakeem Nicks is one of the guys that I was a big fan of.
Okay.
Kenny Phillips, Corey Webster, like guys like that were the when I was a kid and young, like those are the guys that I really enjoyed watching. So I would probably say one of those dudes. Yeah, that would probably be it. But I'm gonna stick with Mike White. Actually, Mike White's still my vote.
Okay.
I'm wearing
Okay.
I'm wearing his jersey
I'm
or
gonna
Michael Dunn
probably.
or Michael Dunn. That's the two. Michael
Okay.
Dunn or Mike
Okay.
White.
All right. I'm going with Scott Burrell. Sorry, I think his
That's
jersey
probably
looks
fair.
he looks kind of looks cute.
Do you have? Did you ever? Do you
Um,
have one? I imagine you have one, right?
we do, yeah.
Yeah. I figure you
Actually,
have one.
he doesn't have his Bulls one to be honest. Honestly, he doesn't have his Bulls one.
Really?
We have no idea where that is. Yeah, we have every other one except the Bulls. Go figure.
Wow. So that's
All
going to
right.
come up here on eBay. We got to look for a game worn
Very
Scott Burrell
much.
jersey on eBay.
Yeah, please send them my way. Thanks, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Kai at Kai_Von Ventel. Do you know him? That's a great name.
No.
Or her. Could be a girl. All right. What's the running back split percent look like?
I'm going to go 45-45-10 between Breece, Braylon, and Isaiah. Isaiah's going to have a role, absolutely. But
I think it gets bigger. I think that role gets bigger by the end of the year.
With more Davis?
With Isaiah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that. I mean, the other thing, too, is that I want to – just because Braylon's on the field doesn't mean Breece is coming off it. I mean, we saw
100%.
a ton in training camp. Breece Hall split out wide as a receiver, and Braylon Allen at running back. I mean, the Jets are doing that a ton, and then they even have formations where Braylon and Breece are in the backfield together. I mean, they are going to. It's for the first time since Mike LaFleur was this team's offensive coordinator. There's creativity again, and Tanner Engstrand is innovating in a way, and he's doing things that are interesting and trying to get his best players on the field at the same time. I mean. I joke, but even the first year, 2 years with Zach Wilson, when Mike LaFleur was calling the plays, remember when like the Jets realized they were having their struggles on offense, so they were running all these like trick plays and stuff, and then there was the one to Braxton Berrios,
Mm-hmm.
then I think it was the 49ers or something like copied it like a week or 2 weeks later. I think you could see that again. I remember saying that when someone copied Mike LaFleur's play, like I don't remember the last time anyone stole anything from the Jets playbook, let alone like literally an offensive play. So I think we could be getting back to that point because there does seem to be some creativity now that has not been around for the Jets, at least since Nathaniel Hackett took over and then gave way to Todd Downing.
Very nice. All right, I agree with you on that one. Like I said, like you said, I think we'll see more of a Braylon Breece on the field a lot together. So yeah. I think there truly is a running back 1 and 1A and 1B. Like they're both just as good.
Well, I say this to people all the time that have asked me about it. Like I'm in a dynasty fantasy league and I traded for Braylon Allen. So like, I mean, I'm not just saying this to say it. Like, I mean, I've got skin. This is a bigger money fantasy league, and I've got some Braylon Allen.
He's got skin in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to see him in the locker and be like, dude, I need something here from you. But no, I think he's going to be pretty involved in this offense this year. And moving forward, I don't know how much longer Brees is going to be on this team. Like, if I'm not talking about trade deadline, but I don't really see
Yeah,
the
but
Jets
he's in
bringing him
last year's
back next
contract.
year. Yeah, I don't see him Jets bringing him back next year. So I think Braylon's probably going to end up being your RB1 moving forward in a David Montgomery role, Isaiah Davis. Maybe they get a speedster in here as well to be a change of pace. Because as long as Glenn's the head coach, I think you're going to see a Detroit Lions like 1-2-3, 1-2 running back punch.
Okay, next one is, I think it's Howard? Like a
Cam?
Howard with an A, Haward at Hamlin on
Mm-hmm.
X. Apologize if I was saying your name right. Anyways, why have they not addressed the edge position, especially since the Darius Smith is available and Glenn coached him last year?
They have Jermaine Johnson, who's a Pro Bowl player.
He's coming back.
Will
Yep.
McDonald, who could very well
Donald.
be a Pro Bowl player, double-digit sacks last year. Will McDonald's
Yeah.
been unbelievable in camp. Probably the most impressive.
Yep.
I'd say he's the most impressive defensive player. I think on the field this summer, I think he was really, really good. So you have two legitimate defensive ends. I know fans like hate on Michael Clemens. As a situational defensive end, he's a solid player in that role. The problem is you play him 30, 40 snaps a game, then you're going to see his warts. But
Mm-hmm.
like if he's on the field 15, you're fine. So Zadarius Smith, Jadeveon Clowney, I think there's probably I thought Zadarius Smith signed with somebody, but I'm probably wrong on that. Let me check. Let me Google this real quick.
You can Google it, but I agree with you. I think Will McDonald is going. They have Will. People forgot about Jermaine Johnson because he got hurt so early on in the season. Yeah, he's coming off an Achilles and he's going to have to get used to it. But I think Will McDonald having a really, really big season this year.
Yeah, and so I just looked at. He's not signed yet. For some defensive end signed. I thought it was Darius Smith. I think there's
That would be Micah Parsons.
Yeah, he did sign.
He's not a big deal. Yeah, traded. But
when you look at Zadarius though, and you look at Jadeveon Clowney, I don't think personality wise they are. Judon was the one that just signed. That's it. Matt Judon just signed.
Oh, there you go.
I
love your mind how it's thinking. You're thinking that whole time, like, oh, Judon, that's who it is.
No, somebody did. I'm out of my mind. Yeah, I think that sometimes with those two guys, there's a reason why they're not signed. I think that I don't know if what Aaron Glenn's trying to instill from a people spot and a mentality spot, if Smith or Clowney are the two guys you'd maybe want on this roster. I just don't necessarily see that as the player that they're trying to put in this locker room right now. Like Clowney's a guy who's notorious for taking plays off and checking out, and Smith's kind of just a rusher at this point, and I don't. And
that's
I
not
go
an
back
AG.
to even like
Those aren't AG guys.
Yeah, and Smith last year played with the Lions. He easily could go back there, and the Lions are like, yeah, no, we're good. Like, there's probably a reason for that. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right, let's go to Ian Friedman. Was Corley being cut more of he just wasn't good at football, or was it locker room stuff, pain in the butt? It's nice.
All the locker room stuff, and we've talked about this ad nauseum on Jets Final Drive, which you guys can watch every week. Plug God.
What time? What day?
It will be the day after the game. Right now, going in, we're kind of all over the place just because we've been doing episodes once a week and there's no game to go after. This week, we're recording on Thursday, though. We're going to be previewing Aaron Rodgers with Zach Rosenblatt. We're going to be previewing Aaron Rodgers' return, all that fun stuff, so it'll be fun.
Sorry, I get that plug in there.
No, you're fine. The plug queen. So we, with Corley, the stuff I know about him was all from last year. You know what I mean? I can't speak to if he got significantly better. Considering the fact he spent the entire summer running with the third team, I think you can connect some dots that no, it did not get any better. With that said, and we talked about this on JFD, when you're working with the third team offense, you are going up against the third team defense. Okay? So that means Corley was going every single day against the Jets' third string cornerbacks. When I tell you, I never noticed him. Like, occasionally he might catch a pass, but you would think that if this was a player that was going to contribute on Sundays when the Jets are seeing the best of the best, he should be eating alive the reserve defense. He should be. He should be making, if he's working with the third team offense or third team defense with the third team on, he should be catching 6, 7, 8 balls a game. We should be in like, oh, there's 6, oh, there's 6. Or like we said with Pritchett at times, or Skinner with times, like, oh, that guy's flashing, that guy's flashing. He never flashed. And then you get to the preseason and he catches one pass for 8 yards. This is like his moment where there is tackling. You're supposed to see, he called himself the Yak God or whatever it is, or Yak King. I don't know, whatever it was. Like, this is when now you're tackling guys to the ground. This is where his strengths are supposed to be exemplified. You're supposed to see how good he is because he's going to run through guys and truck guys and punish people. And he was invisible there too. So he could have been the best guy in the world off the field. He could have been the worst guy in the world off the field. If he was contributing on it, the Jets would have found a place for him on the field, on the roster. He wasn't, so they ended up moving on. And maybe he reinvents himself in Cleveland. They've taken some chances on wideouts before. They gave Kadarius Toney like his fifth opportunity. But I just, for a guy that just did nothing all summer, all off season, all preseason, it's kind of just good riddance.
Yeah, I wasn't, like you said, I kind of forgot.
And I don't mean that as any disrespect to the Jets.
No,
like I don't mean that. It's like you understand the talent level. If this is a third-round pick, a guy that you were expecting to be your number 3 receiver, expecting for him to compete as your slot guy, your gadget guy, and he can't even do anything against those guys. Like it's just
like you said, I kind of forgot he was on the team at some point. Like, oh, yeah.
Which is crazy because you think about that. Remember, he had the infamous fumble before the goal line. Jay? You and I were sitting next to each other in the press box, and like he got the ball and the speed that you saw it.
So
both
fast.
Of us, it's like, remember, you just wasn't playing. Both of us like, who was that? Like, you see that? Who was that guy? And then it was just all downhill from there.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's hear from Paul Vertucci at Paul Vertucci on Twitter/X. We need to give him some hope, Connor. Okay, let's this. I feel like this is a Jets fan who's been beaten too much. All right, the passing game has a good chance of being one of the worst in football. Fields is inconsistent at best, and beyond GW, Garrett Wilson, there's no proven options at wide receiver. What, if any, reasons are there to be optimistic? First of all, no games have been played. There's a reason to be optimistic right now. You don't know what you have.
Yeah. I think the Jets are going to be a hard-fought team. I think they're going to be gritty. I think they're going to be tough. I think they're going to
be in every game.
Yeah, they're going to embrace playing ugly. They're going to embrace being the underdog. I don't think there's going to be many games where they are truly blown out. I think there might be games that end a little lopsided because you might see a team like the Bills or like an elite level competition like the Ravens like pull away in the fourth quarter. But I think in that first half, like the Jets are going to stick with people because even though they're going to get punched in the face a lot, they're going to keep getting up and getting up and getting up like the old Captain America, like I can do this all day scene. Like I think that's really going to be what the Jets are this year. And I think you're going to start to see the foundational pieces laid by Aaron Glenn, Darren Muji about what they want this team to look like. They still need the quarterback. They still need another receiver. They still need depth at a myriad of positions. But I think you're going to see the mentality and the reputation and the identity of what you want a football team to be in New York. I think it's going to come to fruition here. It reminds me a little bit of early before the Knicks really started making their runs, and you could kind of like you really started falling in love with the team, like with the Knicks, and you were like, man, no, they're not the best.
Yeah.
No, they've got no chance of winning an NBA. Now the NBA is different because everyone makes the playoffs, but like, no, they don't have a chance to make the playoffs yet or make a run this year. They're not one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Like this is a team you could root for. You see the direction they're headed. I kind of think that's going to be like the Knicks this year. Like those first, what is it when like Julius Randle's like.
Yes, remember him? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what the Knicks the Jets are going to look like this year minus the playoffs.
Yeah, even
and
like
then they just need to go find their Brunson. Like that's ultimately they need to go find their Jalen Brunson, their quarterback.
Yep. I agree with you, and that's just it. You're going to want to root for this team. They're always going to be in their game. They're always going to be in the game. And again, I like this run game. I mean, ground and pound.
The problem is if you can't run the ball. I agree.
Every single time. I know.
Brian Costello and I have talked about this. Is it's like, they have the makings of a really good run offense. However, like, and
you
Aaron
need
Glenn
to be able to pass.
Yeah, and Glenn pointed this out. Like, I remember he got testy with a report. I think it was Ken Azzaro, about like the Eagles won the Super Bowl. They were the number one rush. Yeah, they did. But the Eagles had the best offensive line in the NFL, Saquon Barkley. Absolutely 100% right. You know what they also had? A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith outside. Like so you can't.
And Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. And even if you don't believe in Jalen Hurts, like he's still a really good quarterback. So teams could not load the box to stop the Eagles' run defense because if you did, it meant one-on-one coverage with Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Right? Like A.J. Brown beats double and triple coverage. So like it was the perfect situation for that run game to thrive because Saquon Barkley, who's an elite level talent, is now running against weak fronts. You know what I mean? The Jets don't have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith outside. They got Garrett Wilson, but like you can shade coverage that way and still stack the box. So I think against inferior competition or similar competition, I think they'll be able to run the ball. But when they play really good teams or really good defenses, I think they'll be able to get the Jets in 3rd and 7s and 3rd and 6s and 3rd and 8s. And then in that situation, like, well, now you got to see the throwing. And if they can't throw, and then all of a sudden it's, punt, 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 and now the Jets are down 14 points in the third quarter, 17 points in the fourth quarter. Well, now Braylon Allen and Brees Hall don't matter. Like, now you have to throw the ball, and that's where I think you're going to see some of this team's work. So, yeah, they have the makings of every team that runs the ball. Like, you can almost every team that has a successful run game, you can almost look 99% of the time at, like, well, they also have a threat that keeps the defense honest. Detroit Lions, they had Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra and Jared Goff and elite level offensive line. Like, you have things that keep the defense honest. I don't think the Jets have anything right now that's going to keep the defense honest. We'll see if I'm wrong. Again, this is just
let's
coming
prove.
off the
Yeah,
training camp.
this is And Connor's been known to be wrong before. That's all I'm saying. He has been known to be wrong before. Yeah. Our last question kind of ties in with this too. Edward A. Burkhardt, at EA Burkhardt at Twitter. How good of a team can the Jets be this year? We've kind of touched upon this a little bit, but just how good the team's going to be.
Yeah, I just filed my week-by-week predictions for both the Giants and Jets, so give that a read as well on sny.tv. I'll make my editor Amara happy and Matt Dunn and Amara. I'm pushing people to the site to read the content, guys. I'm doing it. I have the Jets at 7-10. I think that it's going to be a very rough start to the season. In fact, I think I only have them winning one of their first 4 or 5 games, maybe 2 of their first 6, something like that. Like, it's going to be rough. But their schedule evens out towards the end. Like, the second half of their schedule, the back quarter of their schedule, like, it's a little bit easier. There's games there for them to have and games there for them to win. I think they can sweep the Dolphins. I think they can potentially split with the Patriots. There's some games on there they can win. It's just it's that front's tough. And I still just think they're a year or 2 away. If they get a true rookie quarterback next year, 2 years away, it's just that's really what it comes down to. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have anything. And I don't think the Jets have that quarterback yet. But I think this team can win 7 games this year. I think that's a realistic spot. We saw Adam Gase win 7 games. Robert Saleh won 7 after Aaron went down. Like, that's possible for this team to do. I just think for them to legitimately compete for the playoffs and legitimately make a run, they need a quarterback. And I just don't see that guy on the roster yet. But like I said, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it feels as a gamer. And
then I do, like we said, they're going to be a team that you're going to want to root for. They're like, we're going to keep getting up and we're going to keep fighting. They're going to be in those games.
Yes.
And I don't see them losing by 1 point like they did last year, or like by,
we'll see.
30 seconds
I am curious.
left.
Yeah.
Where they lose the lead. I don't think that's happening this year.
Maybe.
That Patriots,
I think they will. Yeah. I think they'll lose games because of talent discrepancies. What I'm very curious about, though, is, like, the Jets are in a unique spot because they have the longest playoff drought of any professional team, right? Of not including soccer or something like that. I think it's every major professional sport team, whether it's hockey, baseball, football, basketball. The four major. Yeah, they have the longest playoff drought. Like, I'm curious from a Jet fan perspective, like, are you okay with, like, 7-10 and missing the playoffs again, but you see signs of it heading in the right direction? Or are you like,
the foundation built
13 years, like, I'm done with this? Like, will they be okay with a 1-4 start? Or are they just going to be like, is it the mounting frustrations of the last 3 or 4 years? Are they all just going to rear their ugly head here when they start?
But in fairness, but it's
I don't know.
Like I said, I'm just saying, new coach. It's a new. We got to give it time. All right, I have one more question for you. This Twitter comes from Jeane Coakley at Jeane Coakley. This is for Connor Hughes. Because school's starting for most kids, I like to talk about food in school. I want to know, did you bring your lunch or did you buy your school lunch?
I did both, actually. So there were days where I bought, and not in the same day. Like, I didn't bring in my lunch in the same day. No. Yeah, I didn't do that. I will say that in high school. For those people that, like, really know me and have followed me for a while, they know that my wife and I have been dating since I was in high school. So I started dating her my senior year of high school. Bree was a junior. I would bring lunch in high school. I always bought lunch in high school. Always bought lunch in high school. When I was in middle school, I would bring lunch, sometimes buy lunch another day. I used to ask my mom for a bagel for breakfast. I would pack the bagel and then I would eat the bagel at lunch, and I would save my lunch money to pay for dates. Because, like, my first job I ever worked at, they used to bounce checks. Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, this really goes back into, like, the Connor history. I worked at this company,
The
an
ice
ice
cream
cream
shop.
parlor. Yeah, the ice cream shop, and it was my first job ever, making like $7.50 an hour, or whatever minimum wage was back then. And I remember like it was all going well for like a month, and then all of a sudden, like I would get my paycheck and cash it at the bank, and then all of a sudden, like 3 days later, I would get a letter from the bank that was like, "Hey, your check bounced." I would take that check to my boss at the ice cream parlor, and he would go into the register and give me my money, and I just thought that's how jobs worked. Like so, like I didn't realize until like future, like this isn't how jobs work. Like this is you're not supposed to bounce checks and get it out of
It's
the
not the way
register.
you get paid
So
by
I didn't have any
SNY.
money from yeah. So I didn't have money when I was a kid. So what I used to have to do is like not eat lunch and then save that $20. And Bree and I would go to TGI Fridays and do like I used to be able to get like her a dinner, me a dinner, and like sometimes the cookie dessert for like $20. It was money, and I had like my friends made fun. I had like the TGI Stripes rewards. It was great. It was awesome. But yeah, that was my school thing. Is I wouldn't eat lunch. I would just save my money to take.
Connor was packing the school lunch money for
I was
TGI
trying.
Fridays. All
I
right.
was trying.
All right, good for you.
I
All
was
right,
trying.
thank you. I'm gonna throw in some questions every now and then that I want to know.
Oh hell
Hey
yeah! Oh
guys,
yeah!
yeah, right. Thanks so much for watching the first edition of Jets Mailbag. Like we said before, we will be with you every week of the Jets 2025 season to answer your questions. Submit your questions for next week's episode on mine, Connor's, or SNY's Twitter X account, or drop them in the YouTube comments below this episode. Connor Hughes, I'm Jeane Coakley. We'll talk next week. Connor, do you save your money now for lunches?
Yeah. Now I have a mortgage today, so I'm back to not eating lunch to save money. Yeah.
Okay.